So allow me to ask you this real quick, guys. Do you remember the Soundcore Q30 video that I made not too long ago? It was comparing it with the Q20, and I think it was at the beginning of the year or something. No? Well, that's a shame. You should be watching all my videos at this point. But just in case, I'm linking it up above here, and I really want you to watch that because the reason being, it will give you a better context of what we're going to be talking about with the Q35. So check that out first, and we'll meet you right back at this point. In fact, I'll wait for you. So are we squared away? Awesome. So let's get to it. This is the Soundcore Q35. And after you watch that video and you look at the box right here and what's on my head, it could easily pass off as the Q30. And you are right, but Soundcore calls this an early refresh and update to the Q30, and they've added LDAC and a couple improvements, like for example to the mic, and also we get a $50 price bump. Yes, a $50 price bump to something that really looks the same. So I want to find out in this review whether this is worth your time or if you should skip it. So let's do it after these messages. Well, this is different, isn't it? Usually at this point in my other videos, we're looking at a close-up shot on a product, we're talking about specs and pretty much knee-deep in the details, but instead you're staring at this ugly mug. But really, if you watch the Q30 video, and again I'm linking it up above, don't cheat this time, watch it, and you really realize that there's very little that differentiates between the two. The things that I love about the Q30 and also some of the things that I did not like are pretty much retained on this model. From the 40-hour battery life, amazing stuff, build quality, material choices, they're all spot on. I really love these. NFC pairing, multi-point Bluetooth connection for 2 devices, wear detection that turns it on and off when you take it on and off your head, and also the cup to turn on transparency mode on the right ear cup. I did not mention this in the Q30 video, this is more like a cycle switch. It's not like a temporary implementation on say Sony's and Bose's, for example. This is more like it turns it on permanently. You cup it, turns on transparency mode, and you have to cup it again to turn on active noise cancellation. So something to take note of. We still have the 3.5mm headphone jack. The dinky little buttons are still there, unfortunately. Same 10D10 headbands. 4 mics, 2 mics for ANC, 2 mics for phone calls. The only addition that we mentioned earlier is LDAC now. It can play up to 990 kilobits per second, but something you should take note of for those of you who just buy this and expect miracles, you have to make sure that all your ducks are lined up. You have to make sure your sources are right, flag lossless files, the highest grade of Tidal, for example, media files, and also make sure that your device can process it to send it to this, and then you have an amazing experience. And we'll talk about sound quality later on in the show as well. The other change too is also the weight. It used to be 255 grams for the Q30, and now it's a little bit heftier. It's 272 grams for what it's worth. And the other two changes, I think it's more a placebo effect in my head. One, it seems like the microphones for the phone calls, at least Soundcore calls it beam forming now, but it seems to perform a little bit better. But we'll make sure and test it out in the microphone test later on in the show too. And the other thing that seems to improve is also the wear detection. It seems to switch a little bit faster than before, but again, that might be something in my head or whatever it is, but it does seem to perform much more swiftly than the Q30. Now, another thing too, the big change is the price. It's now $50 more than the Q30. $130 is no chump change. And yeah, it's a little bit, I don't know why they charge so much for so little changes to it, but we'll talk about that also later on. I'm not ashamed to admit this, I have Dolly Parton 9 to 5 playing on my phone right now. It's old school stuff. It's actually beaming from my NAS FLAC file straight into my phone and then right into the Q35. It sounds really nice, but we're here to test actually the Bluetooth distance strength of the Q35s and how well they can last. They have Bluetooth 5.0, and where my phone is at and where I'm walking to is around 25 feet. And so theoretically, wow, the sun is really bright. Theoretically, it should last around 30-33 feet, but we'll see how these do. How you guys doing? And suddenly got really dark. But I'm gonna keep walking this way. The signal strength is really strong though. It's still going really strong. I'm gonna crank it up so I can hear I just got it first cut out. And I'm gonna keep walking until we get a complete disconnect tone. I think I can walk down the street here around 55-60 feet before I hear anything. So we're gonna keep walking. Oh, it's a really nice day out. Windy, that's for sure. Yep, I'm really at the street right now, and yeah, I just got a disconnect tone. It just gave up. It says disconnected pairing. So I'm gonna keep walking this way and see if it reconnects, and when it does, whether it resumes. but if I remember correctly with the Q30s too, they didn't do that. All you have to do is just press play again, no big deal. And by the way, you can see the fit of these on my head. There is a wider gap than usual compared to other headphones right here. But it's really all about looks, and if it matters to you, you can, you know, consider something else. But they're comfortable. You can wear these for hours on end, no worries at all. But they do come loose if you, you know, partake in any kind of vigorous activities. But anyways, let's move on to the next test. Okay, I'm taking you down to the road right now to get some sound samples to test out these Q35s and how well they do with Bluetooth phone calls or not. Here comes some cars, and I'm gonna keep talking and switch between the camera, the G85 and this one, and you can hear for yourself how well these guys do. So I've listened back and forth between my Q30 recordings and this one to see if there's any discernible differences, because unfortunately I don't have a Q30 with me. But there is an improvement. The beamforming tech that Soundcore says they're using in this one, and what beamforming is, it utilizes the DSP and tries to lock on your voice or something important, and then knocks out whatever it thinks as irrelevant, like wind or passing cars or whatever like that. And also there's roofers working on a house across the street. They're just whacking away. I can hear there is a marginal difference. I sound less like I'm in a room and less grating like with the Q30s. Go listen to that and you'll hear the difference. So that's a great thing. In a quiet environment, man, it sounds really good, like I'm in a studio or something, or the mic is right up close and my intonation is good. In a noisy environment, if you're using these running or walking your dog, well, don't run because these will fall right off. Yeah, I'm impressed with this one. So nice job, Soundcore. Nice job. Alright, let's talk positives. And the first one is sound quality. So the Q30 sounded amazing. I love how that thing performed from all frequencies. It just really had good tuning stock. And then when you add the app to it, oh man, you got so much presets that Soundcore builds in. Is just an endless play, and then equalizer as well. But with LDAC added to it, it just bumps it up like 5-10 notches. It just sounds amazing. And I've always wondered how good the bones were in the Q30, and I've always wondered if you push it a little bit more, whether it will fall apart. Apparently it doesn't do too bad at all. So it reminds me of, say, if you look at a Ford Focus, when you drive a regular one around town, you're like, oh man, this is a good car, decent car, and it drives smooth and such, but you know deep down that it has good bones. And what if you have more power? So when Ford adds an RS badge next to Focus, you have an amazing vehicle that does so much more than what you expected it. Same thing with this. This has good bones. The diaphragm that they use in the drivers, they're spot on. I really like them. And once you add LDAC to it, they really sing. Now, they do hit their limits. From the bass to the mids to the highs, they're solid, really nice and clear. Everything opens up when you have a good file playing. But in the highs, when I was listening to, say, Thievery Corporation playing Forgotten People, when there's a lot of things going, more than 5 or 6 things going on in the background, it's when it loses composure. So that's something to take note of. In the highs, it does fall apart a little bit, but overall everything just sounded so much more amazing. Staging and everything, oh, the placement of the instruments, this thing can handle it. I really like this. Yeah, I think it's a great upgrade. One thing that I've always enjoyed about the Q series from Soundcore, starting with the 20 and especially the 30 and the 35, is the performance of the active noise cancellation. These things are dependable, they're solid. Sure, they're not the same level as Sony's and Bose's and Apple Max's obviously, but they're really close. And the fact that they can operate for 40 hours beats out all the rest at 65%, 75% volume at 40 hours. That's really amazing. And so you'll be fine using this on a train, commuting on a bus, the steady hum of an engine, on a plane even. It's really good. It does get overwhelmed, mind you, that when it gets sudden, like high frequency sounds like a clap or a sudden shout, it just suddenly loses everything. But then, you know, it regains its composure really quickly, but that's really rare. And yeah, I'm really happy and always been happy with the active noise cancellation on these guys. And the fact that you can tune them and change them on your app and such is pretty interesting, pretty cool too.
Transparency. Noise cancelling. Normal. Transparency. Noise cancelling. Normal. Transparency.
Now, when it comes to the negatives, unfortunately, the things that I did not like about the Q30s still exist on the Q35s. They have not been fixed. Like the small fiddly buttons, what's up with that? There's no texture between them. They're weirdly spaced. You know, on the right side, it's all clumped together, the front, and on the left, it's spaced out really weird. So ergonomically, it's not the most sound. And also, the other thing that I did not like about the Q30s, and the same applies here, is the clamping force. You saw that. If you look at all my other headphone reviews, this is probably one of the worst performing. It just slides right off like it's been slathered with butter or something. Butter. But one thing that I really don't like about these headphones really is the price. $130. I don't think it warrants $50 extra over the Q30. If it was $100, yes, I understand that. LDAC, yes, worth it. But $50 extra just for that? I don't know, man. I really don't know. So here are my final thoughts on this quick review of the Q35. And I'm not gonna mince my words around. The Q30, Q35, they're both amazing. Technically, they're just, I don't know what voodoo Soundcore does with their tuning through their app and their hardware. There's engineers should be given a round of applause. These things are amazing. The Q30 sounded amazing, active noise cancellation, battery life, and the sound quality with the LDAC, oh my goodness, it elevates it even more. I just love this thing. But for those of you who already own, say, a Q30 or Q10 or Q20 and want to upgrade, don't. Because I think the biggest hurdle is that $50 to me. Even if I have the Q30, I would not get this. It's just not worth the upgrade. But if you're coming to this fresh and new, wait for this to go on discounts, then, you know, if it's under $100, I think this should have been right off the gate at $99.99, and this would have been a hot seller. I really believe it. Now, I do wonder though, on the other hand, why this was launched so soon after the Q30. It's probably like a couple months, and we see this. I think that Soundcore meant to launch this first, but it just wanted to test the waters, because I believe that the Q30 should have been the Q35 all throughout the beginning. Since the beginning, they should have LDAC since the start. So yeah, it makes you wonder, right? But I really love this. If this was cheaper, if this was on sale, $99, $100 and below, go get it. But otherwise, just wait or just look for something else. So with all that said, I want to give this Q35 a gear up score of 8.9 out of 10. And this is how I broke it down to get to the final score. If you have any questions about it, feel free to comment down below. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. And as always, I really enjoy having you around. So please join me next Friday for a new one. It's going to be awesome. And if you haven't already noticed, I've been pushing out a second video every week since last week between Mondays and Wednesdays. And this week we did a news vlog, first time ever, talking about the WF-1000XM4 from Sony and other stuff too. It's pretty cool stuff. So check that out. Let me know what you think about it. I'm trying to get into a cadence to produce 2 videos because you asked for it. So I'm trying to do that. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel too. I'm trying to get to 10,000. We're this close, but I want to go beyond that and really grow this channel and get you more videos like this to watch. So mash that button down below. Tell your friends and family about it, about Gear Up, and also turn on the bell notification icon. And if you're financially able to, visit my Patreon page down here to help me grow this channel and really help me get you more videos like this to watch too. And you can do the same with the brand new YouTube allotment. Remember to thumbs up if you like this video and comment nicely down below. And thumbs down. Thumbs down to those cotton swab instructions. Like right here it says, caution, do not use in the ear canal. How many of us have ignored this? Basically, I stick a ear swab in my ear and jam it as deep as it goes until it draws blood and call it a day. I never read that part, or I always ignore it. So how many of you have ignored that? So thumbs down to the instructions. I think the cotton swab companies, they shouldn't care about lawsuits and such like that, because we love using this for our ears. So change that, get, you know, the whole society educated on how to properly use this, because as it is right now, they say it's ideal for cleaning computers and arts and crafts and detailing cars. Yeah, how many of us actually use these for those things? Very rarely, but more often than not, you'll find these in the bathroom, and we're doing this. So cotton swab companies, get with the program. That's all I got. Thank you guys for watching again. Remember to do something kind and loving for somebody in this world, and it starts with you. And I'll see you next week. Peace out and God bless.